The new NBA and MLB season is in full swing, and BetOnline has you covered with the best odds and biggest promotions and live in-game betting on all your favorite teams. Head to BetOnline today to stay updated on all the action. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Acrylonitrile butadiene styrene is a type of plastic made by polymerizing styrene and acrylonitrile in the presence of polybutadiene. Its lightweight, extreme strength, and ability to be injection molded make it useful in manufacturing products such as piping, musical instruments, luggage, and whitewater canoes. It also happens to be the perfect material for the biggest toy company in the world. With an annual production of 36 billion pieces, odds are you've owned them, you've played with them, and at one point, you've stepped on them. And that's why this week's On Brand is on Lego.
We're all jazzed up, really having a cow. You want your favorite show, and it's on right now. It's on Brand.
Hello, and welcome to On Brand with Jon and Marisa. I'm Jon.
I am Marisa. Jon, we have been craving In-N-Out since last week's episode, and we even ate In-N-Out together.
I woke up 2 days ago craving In-N-Out for breakfast. Ever since that episode came out, everyone's writing me saying that they've gone to get In-N-Out. They're sad they are not in a state that has In-N-Out. Everyone wants In-N-Out. I'm constantly craving it now. Have you had it again since we had it last week?
No, I haven't, but I am desperate for it. Have you?
I haven't. I tried to get it last night. I was in Pasadena because I think it is the oldest In-N-Out in its original state. It's like it's very tiny. But the drive-through line, I'm not even being sarcastic. I think there was about 75 cars in it. It was like there was an event. Like it went like 3 blocks down the street.
It's insane. The amount of traffic that is generated by an In-N-Out drive-thru, it seems like it's like a city emergency. Like it needs to be addressed by like the mayor.
You have to, you kind of have to psych yourself up for it. I don't know if we talked about that last week, but there's also a term that the In-N-Out people use. If you manage to randomly go into an In-N-Out parking lot when there's no cars and are able to go straight to the window, it's called hitting a home run. It very rarely happens, never happens. But you drive by and you're like, maybe no one will be there. Minimum. There's always going to be 25 cars.
So
there.
You didn't get In-N-Out?
I didn't get In-N-Out.
You just drove up and saw the line and left?
Yeah.
Oh man, that needs a term too. Striking out. If you drive up to In-N-Out and the line scares you so much that you have to turn around and leave, that's striking out.
I struck out. And then I was like, maybe I should go back and like film how long the line is because I don't think people are going to believe me how long it is. It was like a line of like a newly opened In-N-Out. Like I really don't understand it. So no, I left and ate elsewhere.
What were you doing in Pasadena?
I had to do a quick errand.
I'm sorry, what?
An errand?
What kind of errand?
I had something on hold that I needed to pick up.
From where?
Cadbury Records.
Okay, what?
A signed Green Day CD.
A signed Green Day CD on hold.
Which of those parts are you having an issue with?
Honestly, every word is like you're going deeper into hell. Signed, it's already like, oh no, Green Day, oh God, CD, why? Help! 911!
I can make it even more sigh-worthy for you.
Okay.
It was my second one.
No, babe. No, why? Are you telling me you're going to try to flip it?
Well, that's always the thought.
Okay, so that is the thought. There's like a demand for these. This is like the Arnold Schwarzenegger book, which as I asked you yesterday if you had sold it yet, and you said no.
Because as someone who's not great at flipping...
You're like the world's worst Mary Kay sales girl. Like you just have a trunk full of lipstick melting in the heat.
Yeah, I do the opposite of flipping. I just collect 2 of everything.
Move merchandise, honey.
I know. But here's what I think. It looks like with someone like Green Day or even Arnold Schwarzenegger because he's getting older, I'm like, okay, so the Green Day right now is flipping for about $100.
Okay.
It was a $16 CD.
Okay.
But when he dies, the sky could be the limit. So now I'm thinking I'll hold on to these things until the celebrity passing.
So you're going to be digging in your storage, under all those boxes of Simpsons figurines.
Hey, I put those in the back so I wouldn't have to dig through them.
There's 2 stacks. There's the ones that were sealed, And then there's the ones that were open for you to play with.
Yeah.
The Simpsons figurines.
And now instead of playing with them, they're just boxed up in the back of the storage unit. Anyway, so that's what I was doing in Pasadena.
Thank you for sharing those. Very vulnerable of you.
You know, I do feel like I open up a lot to everyone now on this podcast. And the people listening or even watching our little clips can't see. When I tell these stories, it's not just Marissa laughing. I have Alistair over here sipping on water, also laughing at all these ridiculous things.
I think the listeners will fall into two categories. I think they are nodding in recognition. They totally get it. They have your same condition. Or their jaws on the floor. They're like swerving into traffic. Like they can't contain their horror.
My ex-girlfriend Marcia in Italy now, it's her favorite thing to write me and be like, I just don't get how you're getting through life with all this stuff in your house. She's like, no, tell me again the Taylor Swift. How are you walking in your apartment? Like, she just constantly likes to ridicule me.
Yeah, it's pretty hilarious.
So your opening, what are those words? It felt like a script for people that like actors that have to play doctors. Like, I'm only learning them to get through this moment.
You know what I was inspired by is that show How It's Made. And I had to have Al pull up a phonetic pronunciation of how to say acrylonitrile butadiene styrene. Because that's obviously not three words that I use very much in my regular life. But as you will learn when we dig into Lego, that is what makes Lego Lego. And I won't say Legos. I will work really hard to not say Legos.
Oh, it's a singular word always?
Lego is Legos.
You can't be like, I bought a bunch of new Legos.
No, not Legos, it's Lego.
Before this episode is over, do not let me forget I have a Lego story from Christmas.
Well, tell it right now.
Oh.
This is the show.
Oh.
Okay, I'll start. I'll cue you up. John, what does Lego mean to you?
Listen, first of all, thumbs up, great brand. I love Legos. It's one of those like fun legacy brands that I feel like has managed to always stay relevant, use licensing really well. I don't know. I think it's a fun, joyful brand. I think I've seen little documentaries on it, so I may know a little bit about it, but not a ton about it. I'm not a big Lego collector. There was a point last year where I was like...
So your version, okay, so this is actually interesting. So the way you define yourself, you're not a coin collector. There's a lot of type of collectors that you don't think you are. I will ask you, do you own any Lego?
Yeah.
Okay, how many?
I have...
So you started this by saying you're not a Lego collector, so I would think that means you don't really have any.
I am not a Lego collector. I wanted to...
How many?
I'm not. You're not all of a sudden going to be... I have 4 unopened... It's not like that, though.
It's not?
Okay, so if you know me at all, you know one of my favorite things is Andy Warhol. Lego came out with an Andy Warhol set of his iconic Marilyn Monroe face a few years ago. I didn't buy those right away. They were expensive. Last year, I think, maybe 2 years ago, they had been discontinued, and I found the clever thing about it is you can put together the Marilyn Monroe in 4 different color patterns.
Oh, that's fun.
So I needed 4 sets of it so I could do all 4.
Of course.
And I waited till they were discontinued, and I was like, I really do want these. And Lego sets, I am smart enough to know once they're discontinued, sometimes the prices skyrocket.
Yeah.
So I found them cheap, and someone on eBay had them, and they were bent, like the boxes were bent up, and it wasn't like, oh, I'm getting these mint in a box. I will do them at some point, but those are the 4 sets I have. And I have a handful. Do I have a few little things? I love the minifigures. I always kind of wish that they would just sell those individually. They don't. I think they'd probably make a ton of money on those, like, because they put a limited amount or special ones in each set or whatever. So
do you have minifigures?
I do.
You're not a Lego collector.
No, I'm not a Lego collector. Like I was saying, I was at the Lego store.
Okay, you were at the Lego store.
I stop by the Lego store if I'm walking past one because it's a fun thing.
It's a super fun store.
And last year I was like, why don't I do more Lego? So I was at the Glendale Galleria and I went into the Lego store and they have like fun retro things. They have like you can put together like a Nintendo game console. They've got the Friends set, I think a Seinfeld set. They have things that are really, on brand for me. But when I went and looked at them, they're expensive. It's like $150, $250 for these sets. And I was like, I cannot become this.
It's an expensive hobby for sure.
And I wish I had the money and space to do it. It's just something that's not me. But
so you have 4 Marilyn Monroes.
I have 4 Warhol Marilyn Monroes.
You have
a dozen, 2 dozen minifigures.
Okay.
Probably 8 keychains. sounds crazy. I'm smart enough to hear this from all of your points of view, but I'm not a Lego collector.
Yeah, we know. We get it. Yikes.
So my Christmas story. I was at Kenwood Town Center in Cincinnati, Ohio, picking up a Yankee candle as a Christmas gift for my sister.
What scent?
Autumn Lodge.
Love.
It's one of her favorites. I bought myself one because it reminds me of her. It smells like pipe tobacco, which sounds weird, but it's I was burning it yesterday.
Nice.
And across the street from Yankee Candle was the Lego store. So I was like, oh, I'll pop in there. I pop in there and there's a guy like putting some sets on a display case, and in like the little plexiglass display case there was two different little Christmas trees that looked like they had clear little Legos on them that were lights. And I was like, oh, those are really cute. I was like, do those light up? And he's like, no. He's like, they don't. He's like, but you can use your imagination. And I was like, I lost it. I was like, yep. Yeah, I definitely can pretend that these light up. And then that made him laugh because he realized how ridiculous it was and blah, blah, blah. And so then we had like a fun little banter. And then I go shop a little more. And then like I come back around and he's now talking to a coworker. And they're talking like one coworker's like, God, I just can't wait until like the holidays are over. And the other one's like, I know, like I just wish I was dead. And like they're having this really like ridiculous conversation to be having in a Lego store as representatives of the company. And so I just started singing, we wish you a Merry Christmas. And then they both started to laugh. And it was a fun moment.
That's
so
a
anyway,
cute moment.
I decided to buy a keychain. I'm not a collector.
Okay, what keychain?
The little guy that's dressed like a hot dog.
Okay.
He's very cute.
When you get that, do you use it or you display it?
Kind of neither. It goes in a drawer. No, I will use it. I do use them. I
Okay.
use some of the. I'll use my Santa Lego keychain at Christmas time.
Okay.
So anyway, listen, you've made fun of me
Vote
enough.
below, is John a Lego collector?
So I have it on the counter and I'm getting ready to pay for it. And on the side of me, someone puts down a little Lego set of Christmas ornaments.
Cute.
Like 3 little ornaments. And I look over and it's the first guy who told me to use my imagination for the tree. He's like, you've been a lot of fun. I want you to have this for Christmas. And gave me this set. And I
That's
was like,
really sweet.
And then I was like, it's a Christmas. And I said it really loud. He's like, shh, shh, shh. He's like, I don't do this for everybody.
This guy's giving away Legos.
This guy's just throwing toys around.
Sir,
So
you're fired.
that stuff like that will win me over for life.
That's really, really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely part of the brand is that it's meant to be really joyful and super fun and to give you that kind of magic experience. You can use your imagination. Using your imagination is like kind of their whole deal.
Well, I do feel like they've blurred it a little bit. And maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like it's kind of like early on, it was kind of like you had to make these things with these very specific blocks. Now, I feel like you're making things and a lot of things are molded to be specifically what you need for this thing.
For each set.
Yeah, and maybe it's always been like that. I feel like it's definitely must have been more like that now than it used to be.
I think the stuff that's like the super licensed stuff has gotten really specific, but a lot of it is the intention is that it's meant to be open-ended. We can jump in. Would you like to go to Lego school?
I am going to sit back and enjoy this ride.
Oh man. Okay, so let's go back to 1891, the birth of the inventor.
Okay,
This is a long time
1891,
ago.
Coca-Cola is just hitting the scene.
I mean, what a crazy time. Isn't it so weird that we live in this time and that life was really different in a different time?
Wow. Yes.
He was born Ole Kirk Christiansen. He was born in April 1891 in Denmark. It's a Danish company. He was one of 13 and he was a farm laborer. So it was like, these are very humble beginnings to think about where the company is now. It's fun to think about how, where they came from. So his family was really poor. He like barely got a high school education. He was going to school like 2 days a week. And then the rest of the time, you know what he was doing?
Laying bricks.
That would have been really good.
Yeah.
Whittling wood.
Oh my God. Was he good at it? Did he make like little animals?
He was really good at it. Since he was 6 years old, he was really good at whittling wood.
Wow.
Have you ever whittled?
No. I think my dad whittled. Like not a lot, but I pictured or maybe he just sharpened those
Pencils?
Yeah.
The knife?
Those big like pencils with a knife.
Yeah,
He
what
did
was
something with a
those?
knife. And he would cut his apples with his pocket knife.
So in 1916, he starts his own woodworking carpentry shop. It's called the Billin Woodworking and Carpentry. This is his business. He meets his wife. She's the daughter of a cheesemaker. They have 4 kids. She dies. 2 years later, he gets remarried.
Wow.
In the 1920s, he has his carpentry business. They're like building houses. They're selling ladders and brooms and things like that. Hey, brooms. Producer Al loves brooms.
Al loves brooms. Fun fact.
In 1924, his business is almost destroyed
No.
when his sons, Carl and Gottfried, start a fire accidentally in his wood shop, setting fire to wood shavings, trying to light a hot glue machine. The workshop in the family home burned down.
Wow.
Can you imagine how mad you would be at your 2 sons if they're dicking around in your office and they burn down both your business and your home?
That's insane. I didn't bring this up in the In and Out episode, but they also had a massive fire that was
Really?
caused by someone outside of the company who was like doing like an audit. He had a little office in like the place and plugged in a space heater.
Whoa.
And like burned down In and Out.
Oh my God.
They had to completely like rebuild.
You forget about fires.
You forget about fires.
They get ya.
They get you.
They sneak up on you. So after the event, he decided he wanted to like, get a fresh start. He wanted to expand his business. He got an architect. Let's build a larger workshop. Let's build a bigger home.
And what's he making at this time?
So at this point, he's doing like basically residential, like repairing houses. I mean, it's going into the Great Depression. So it's like not really booming at this point. But he's like building, ladders, brooms, things out of wood. He's a woodman. So the 1930s Great Depression, business starts to tank. The drop in farming prices result in all of his customers. They can't afford his brooms and ladders. I mean, honestly, how many ladders really does somebody need to buy?
Well, you're asking the wrong person. I could see a dozen.
Limited edition ladder.
Yeah.
So he had to like fire a lot of his employees. His primary income, which was from the sale of ladders and ironing boards, it was shrinking because, everybody's broke. He had to fire finally his last worker. So in order to sell more products, have like a cheaper price point for what he was making, he made the decision to produce cheap wooden products, including wooden toys. So he started making like yo-yos, little pull-along duckies, little trucks, vroom vroom, things like that out of wood. Because his, whittling, it's getting back in touch with his whittling roots.
Yo-yo is one of those things that I see people that are really good at it. I've always been a very basic up and down kind of guy.
I do an up and down. I've never been able to walk the dog, never been able to rock the cradle.
Nope, I can't do any of those.
So he's making wooden toys. He decides he needs to like lean into toys, and he's going to define the core philosophy of this company. So this is 1934 now. He names the company Lego, which is the Danish word legot, shortened to Lego, meaning play well. Company is renamed as the Lego Group. Play well. So this is now like he's starting to kind of we see the seeds of like what his mission is, his vision for this company.
But nothing at this point with this newfound company, toy company of Lego with wooden toys, nothing resembles the Lego we know of today.
There's no bricks, there's no knobs, there's none of that. It's all, there's like a pull-along wooden duck.
That's very Fisher-Price.
It's very Fisher-Price. And I don't know if he invented the pull, but that was like their most popular product. And like, if you're curious, I'll post it on Instagram. You can see what it originally looked like. And it definitely feels like an iconic toy that has been modified and people, still make today.
It probably looks exactly like the Fisher-Price one. I mean, how different could it look?
Quack, quack. So that's 1935. So they managed to survive the Great Depression selling these toys. 1940s, 1950s, they had another fire.
Jesus Christ. Maybe it's time to get out of wood.
And they lost their entire factory, his entire stock, and all of his blueprints. So, I mean, talk about falling off the horse and getting back up.
Wow. I was distracted trying to think of what the blueprints were for.
Like designs for the duck.
Oh, got it.
I would imagine.
Right.
I
That
guess.
makes sense.
I mean, how long does that take to recreate?
I know. It doesn't
Beak, tail, head,
String.
string.
I think I got it. It's all right that the fire destroyed him.
I think I got it. So he decides to start anew. In 1944, he started a new, even better factory, even bigger factory. He has an assembly line. At the end of World War II, wood is not so available anymore. Now we're trying to explore plastic, right? Plastic takes America by storm. The Lego company was the first toy manufacturer in Denmark to purchase a plastic injection molding machine, which, by the way, was so expensive that at that time it cost more than twice the previous year's profit. So this was a big investment. For a man who is plagued by fire, this is a big risk.
But he's all in. Like, he really believes this is the wave of the future. If he's investing that much money in this, he's got a vision.
He's got a vision. He has a slogan, play well. And when he sees the plastic injection molding machine, I guess it was whatever salesman was showing him this machine, there were like samples that come with it, like what kind of things you can make with it. And one of the sample products made by this plastic injection molding machine were the Kittycraft self-locking building bricks. Bricks that could be stacked on each other, held in place by studs on the top. And this was made by another company, by Kittycraft. And realizing their potential, he saw that. He was like, I think I can do that better. He created his own version. And in 1949, Lego started to produce the automatic binding brick.
This is not the first time. So now we have Barbie, we have Cabbage Patch, now we have Lego, where the person that is steering this ship sees what will eventually become what they're known for somewhere else.
This is very familiar. This is very Cabbage Patch. And I want to give credit to Hillary Page, which I got excited because I thought it was a woman. It's a man.
Oh, I was about to say. Okay, of course it's a woman. A man named Hillary. There's your show.
It's a man.
Matt Damon is Hillary Swank or whatever their name is.
Hi, this is Chris Howard, host of Plugged In with Chris Howard. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from Major League Baseball, NHL, and UFC, and professional golf, BetOnline remains the number one source for all your sports wagering info. In between games, head over to the BetOnline's casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here.
This is your before and after story. Prepare for an incredible career in nursing. At Southeastern College, experience expert hands-on training. Learn real-world skills in our professional lab and simulated settings. And train for opportunities as a practical nurse, registered nurse, or career advancement with our RN to BSN program. At Southeastern College, your future is bright. Visit sec.edu to get started.
Find yourself looking for a new job or change in career? Monster.com is here to help. We are not only here to bring you job postings, but also AI interview prep and salary tools, expert career advice, and top-notch resume services. We've got everything you need to land your perfect job fit. Discover the magic of finding the ideal job with Monster.com. Your future starts now. Visit Monster.com today. Your next job opportunity is just a click away.
Hillary Page was the original inventor of the self-locking brick. And if you look at pictures of this, and we'll post them on Instagram, they look a lot like Legos.
Yeah, I mean, there's not that many different ways that a locking brick could look.
Yeah. So Kittycraft was the company that made these self-locking bricks, and they were just a UK company. And the inventor, Hillary Page, he didn't really care too much about patenting. It sounded like he was kind of like the Cabbage Patch doll inventor, not super business minded, not really aggressively entrepreneurial. He liked making toys. He liked observing children and how they play. So he was kind of not that mad about Lego taking this design. It even says that he kind of gave them his blessing. He did feel the pressure on his business, and fearing collapse of his company, he did kill himself in 1957, and that was right before, a couple years before Lego came out in the UK. So he didn't live to see what his invention became, but it was the pressures of his company that spun him into a depression.
Jesus.
So Lego might have some blood on their hands.
I mean, yeah, I don't know what to think about that. We went from he wasn't that mad to in the same breath.
That's why it's so strange. And Lego, they acknowledged that they didn't invent the idea, but then there was this weird thing where they eventually acquired the patent. They bought it from his family. I don't know. I can't tell how contentious it was. It's the kind of thing online where you'll hear maybe a couple different stories. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was if it was a beef that was maybe settled out of court, but you can't deny the fact that he was obviously very stressed about the success of his business. So I think we should remember his name.
Yeah.
Hillary Page.
Hillary Page.
A statue should be built in the town square.
Okay, fair enough. We'll pitch that.
We'll pitch that to the mayor.
That's sad, though.
I know, right? Sometimes facts are sad, and we're not afraid to share a sad fact.
what was he so stressed about?
Well, it was just like a UK company. He wasn't like really expanding. He had several different little toys, but he was more and seemed like invested in like child psychology. He wasn't like a crazy aggressive businessman.
Right. And I do think that we have learned that with these people that do quote unquote steal these other designs or things that they see is it is definitely a two-part thing. Like it's the desire to make the thing, but you have to have like kind of like the crazy passion and vision to see it as like a whatever regional global
That's like us
product.
with this podcast.
Of course it is.
We have the vision.
We have the vision.
And we got passion, honey.
If you had told me 8 months ago that we'd be doing a podcast that 0.024% of its listeners are in New Zealand, I would have said you're crazy. Because I don't know what that means. Like, is that one person? Or
is it half of a person?
did someone just like scroll past it? I don't know what 0.04% is, but look, here we are now.
If you're our New Zealand listener, please write us a message.
It's Sean. I know who it is. It's Sean. I worked with him at Avatar. He's the one in New Zealand that listens. And when I look at the geography of our stats, which I don't do often, and New Zealand's not on there, I'll just be like, Sean, why haven't you listened to the show yet?
Sidebar, I think we might be approaching, it might even be today, will be our 1-year anniversary of when we recorded our first episode.
Which doesn't seem like it would be because I don't think our show came out until May. But yeah, a year ago, we were like, let's do a podcast. And we did a practice episode.
I don't think we expected it to be a practice, but it was so bad that it will never see the light of day. It's in the archives.
It was on Coca-Cola. We'll revisit it. It was very long and a little rambly, and we were sitting very casually in chairs, and we did not look our best. But yeah there's actually 3 lost episodes of our podcast for various reasons that were recorded and have not seen the light of day. Maybe they'll be re-recorded or something.
You know, after we die, those are going to become very valuable.
Yeah, someone will collect those.
You should burn them on a CD and put them in your storage unit.
Also, speaking of milestones, just a little pat on my own back. A lot of people may not know this. I used to be a very heavy smoker. This week marks 8 years of me not smoking, which is something I never thought I'd be able to do. So yay me.
It's very inspiring. I honestly never thought that you would stop smoking either.
I didn't either. It never entered my mind that I would. So now we've derailed.
Good for you. Good for you.
So, okay, let's get to the third fire. I'm assuming there's a third fire.
There is a third fire.
Is it really?
Yes, it's coming up.
Good God, put the matches down.
I think the devil himself might have it out for this company. So by 1951, plastic toys accounted for half of the company's products. So they're still making their wood toys. They're also making the plastic toys. They're also making these plastic self-adhering blocks. And it's funny, at the time, the common sentiment was that plastic will never be able to replace traditional wooden toys. Like, people would see them, they're like, well, kids are never going to go for a plastic toy over a wood toy.
Yeah, of course.
Which is funny.
You know what I've heard that kind of disturbs me is that all the plastic that's ever existed on Earth is still on Earth. Like, it's still here. It doesn't go away. It's
You're like a toothbrush used in 1981 is up a tortoise's ass.
Or in a landfill.
No, it all goes straight to the sea.
I don't know why everyone thinks
turtles.
Everyone thinks every piece of discarded plastic somehow ends up inside a turtle somehow. We don't get straws anymore in California because they've all ended up in turtle noses. Which, listen,
I'm sure some have.
But here's the thing. They just don't give you straws anymore. And I forget to ask. If you don't ask, you just don't get one. So then you're driving down the street. I now have straws in my door side pocket because I'm going to forget to ask for a straw.
Do you have a straw right now?
No, Starbucks makes those sippy
lids.
lids.
The sippy cup. You showed up with a very unusual looking beverage from Starbucks.
The pink drink.
The pink drink.
The pink drink.
Maybe people who are more internet savvy know what this is.
I'm sure that a lot of people know what this is.
Do the kids know what the pink drink is?
It's
what's that pink drink over there?
A 2-year-old fad drink.
Honey, it's the first time hearing about it. So 1954, Lego hasn't taken off. It's not an overnight success. His son, Godfrey, the one who burned down the factory the first time, is now the junior managing director. And he sees an immense potential in the Lego bricks to become what he's calling a system for creative play. So system, you'll see the word system popping up in your research about Lego or learning about the history. They always use the word system. So for them, that means all of these qualities that make the perfect toy. But they still had a problem. The bricks would not really stick together the way that they do now. So the way we think of Lego now, they're really easy to stick together, but then once they're together, they stay pretty stuck until you apply a little bit of force.
Right.
And that is because of the acrylonitrile. I'll say
boy.
it wrong now. We'll call it ABS. That type of plastic was discovered in the 1950s as giving the Lego bricks their clutch power, is what they call that, the friction that holds two bricks together. So Lego didn't always have that stick power, the clutch power.
All right.
It was this special ABS plastic that is also used, as I mentioned, in kayaks.
It's a very satisfying system, I guess, that's the word that they
Satisfying
use.
smush.
A satisfying smush. It's all very precise.
It's very precise. It all does seem very Danish, very precise. It's very thoughtful. A toy like this that's so open-ended, it like has unlimited possibilities. People are kind of like, what do I do with this? So he had to kind of like teach people basically what this product is used for. In 1960, a fire destroys the warehouse yet again.
Jesus Christ.
This is the third fire
It's insane.
Lego is plagued by. And then after which, all the wooden toys burned. So now the wooden toys are gone. They're ashes.
They're out of here. And
They're
all
outta
the
here.
plastic toys, I assume, would just be a big puddle.
I'm sure they were a big molten puddle, but at least we're going to leave the wooden toys in the past. The ducks have gone the way of the dodo, so to speak.
Right.
And the plastic is the future.
Here's my thing about Lego also. I'm a creative person. I think I am to a degree, but not with Lego. There's certain things I'm not. If you give me a pile of Legos, I will make a Lego wall. That's like all I know how to make. I know how to make a big flat Lego wall. Sometimes if you give me that little metal rod and two wheels, I'll make a Lego wall with wheels. But I don't know how to do anything.
A wall with wheels. Why not make a car?
I don't know how. I don't know how to manipulate it into a car. I know how to make a wall, a multicolored wall.
So you might be inspired by Gottfried's his system in play. So this is what I mentioned, the system. That was what they started calling their building set systems. And then these are what they're calling the 10 tenets of what the toy should always adhere to. Unlimited play possibilities. So that means it doesn't just have to be a wall. You can use your imagination.
I believe my imagination is a wall.
For girls and for boys.
I love that.
Enthusiasm for all ages. Play all year round, stimulating and harmonious play, endless hours of play, imagination, creativity, development, more Lego, multiplied play value, always topical, safety, and quality. So this is something interesting. The Lego that was invented in 1950s will still fit together with the Lego you buy today. So they wanted them to be endlessly interchangeable.
Now, what does purchasing Legos look like at this time? Are they already selling them in, this is the building set, this is the house set, or are you just buying a big bag of Legos? What are you getting?
At this point, they're resembling the sets that we buy today, but there weren't the people yet. That comes a little bit later. So it was, there weren't the minifigs. So it was Lego cities. They were all mostly like urban environments, like a police station, trains, cars, things like that, like all kind of an urban theme. And that continued through the 60s and 70s.
I bet some of those early sets are worth a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. Adult fans of Legos, AFOL is like a huge community. And so people...
I'm sorry. What?
AFOL.
That's a thing. That's what they call themselves?
Yeah, they call themselves AFOL, adult fans of Lego. And I mean, obviously, as we said, Lego sets are very expensive. And so who can afford, a $600 Millennium Falcon or scale model of the Titanic? It's an AFOL.
I know that would get me into Legos.
Well, do you have $700 to spare? Because I think that's what it costs.
Well, I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I feel like I could scrape together $700.
How much would you have to entertain a Lego employee for them to slide a free Titanic?
Slip a little money to the Lego guy.
In 1964 is when they started to include instructions in the sets, which might be where you thrive with the instructions.
I mean, yeah, I've seen videos. I mean, I get TikToks of people that do these Lego sets. And from what I've seen, I think I even saw someone doing the Titanic one. Mm-hmm. You get like a series of bags, like numbered bags. Each bag creates like a small portion of whatever you're trying to do. Now they've gotten so crazy. There's like hydraulics in them and there's like lighting and all these things. So I think you have to approach it very specifically.
Yeah, it's probably similar to the people who do jigsaw puzzles. You know what I mean? It's satisfying to complete something in its entirety and to follow this like set of rules.
You know who loves jigsaw puzzles? Not to keep bringing this back to Alistair. Alistair, his two favorite things in the world are jigsaw puzzles and brooms.
And he's single. triangle.
Can you imagine if he was doing a jigsaw puzzle that get knocked on the floor and he had to go get a broom to clean it up? He would die.
Oh my God, Al, don't listen to this part. We need to get him a jigsaw puzzle that the picture is brooms.
Or it's shaped like a broom.
Or you can use it as a broom.
Oh
my
God.
Okay. 1978, the minifigures. Your
Okay.
fave that you don't collect.
I don't. I have some, but I don't collect them. And here's what I'm going to say about the minifigures that I do really admire is, I don't know if they've gotten into licensing at this point yet. As much as Lego licenses, they do Harry Potter, they do Star Wars, they do all the big licenses, Marvel and all that. They are also very committed to their own characters. Like you do the blind bags, you do the keychains. Like the hot dog guy I got is a Lego character. It's not something from another thing. And I like that they like their own characters as much as they like any licensed character.
Yeah, they have their own, and I'm sure there's people who are maybe more fans of the stuff that's not licensed. They like the Lego brand stuff. And the Lego non-licensed things are cheaper because they don't have to pay like licensing fees. So if you want to get into Lego and you're put off by the price point, get the Lego stuff that's not the set of The Office.
Yeah,
because that one's going to cost more. Get the regular Lego set. So
I will say, not to interrupt, but what I
ahead.
do hate is blind boxes. Do you have thoughts on blind boxes?
I mean, this feels like a TikTok thing, but I mean, I'm sure
it's not a TikTok thing.
I'm sure this has existed in many iterations. It's like a Pokemon card, right? You don't know what you're getting.
Yeah, or
open it
Disney
up.
pins, or it's like this whole world where you're just spending money, not knowing what you're going to get, and you end up getting repeats and spending more money. And I just want to know what I'm buying. I got in trouble once at Barnes & Noble because there was a vintage Pac-Man set of blind boxes, and there was like 5.
So you don't know which little characters you're going to get?
You don't know which characters you're going to get.
Okay.
I felt around the box a little bit aggressively I just wanted the stupid 5 that there were.
You wanted Ms. Pac-Man. You wanted Pac-Man.
Blinky.
You wanted Blinky. You wanted cherries.
You wanted the cherries. You wanted all 5.
Okay.
I'm a grown man.
Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to put that away.
That's what happened. I'm a grown man squatted down at Barnes & Noble, and he's like, sir, those are actually meant to just be purchases. You can't squeeze them aggressively. So
what did you say back?
I don't know what I said back. I'm sure it sucked or I was a lie. But I mean, I was clearly caught. Stuff like that I'll usually play with. It's like, you're not sending me to prison. We all know what I'm doing. But God.
A grown man just like squatting in the children's toy section.
Yeah.
Feeling around.
It's moments like that. Like I'm walking back to my car and I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing with your life?
And what were these little Pac-Man minifigures for?
The shelf. I think there's a shelf.
Something else you allegedly don't collect. So does Lego do those blind bags?
Yeah, and they're big. Like they're different series, but it'll be like series 3 is out and there's 12, 15, whatever, new blind bags to buy.
Yeah, that's stuff like that I'm not into.
You know what I do admire? The people on TikTok that do the blind bags and stuff, that they will buy very precise scales and weigh each blind bag and figure out the one that's 1.0 ounces is the hot dog guy. The one that's whatever, 2.4 ounces is the witch. And like they find ways around it where they're not just squatting in a Barnes & Noble like me. They're very scientific about it.
Yeah, they're trying to game the system.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Or just get what they want to buy.
I mean, I'll never understand you collector types.
Okay.
The year 2000, Y2K.
Okay.
Lego is named Toy of the Century.
Wow.
Then something took a turn.
All right, let me guess. So it's the year 2000. Titanic has been out for
3 years.
3 years.
Mm-hmm. America's still reeling.
It's probably out in the theaters again because people needed to see it again.
Well, and people have probably had it on tape for like a year and a half, 2 years at this point.
The double cassette is out for purchase. What would have changed for Lego?
Think more about like the culture at the time. It was more like the type of toys that they felt like they were competing with. Flashier, electronic.
Tickle Me Elmo.
Furby. Tamagotchi, exactly. Stuff with a lot of bells and whistles. And so Lego posted a loss of $220 million. They were $800 million in debt. The company was facing bankruptcy.
Wow. That seems unimaginable today.
Absolutely. I mean, because it's literally now, spoiler alert, though I mentioned in the beginning, it is the #1 toy. It's bigger than Mattel. It's bigger than Hasbro. It is by far the #1 toy company in the world. But not that long ago, they were $800 million in debt. So I think there's something kind of inspiring about this story. They were trying to come up with Lego sets that were like more electronic with like more action figure style and like more fashion lines. They were trying to compete with toys that are so not in line with the brand.
I remember there was like girl lines. Wasn't there like bionics or something
There
like
were
that?
motors and like sound effects and
Yeah.
just stuff that's really not in line with, like the vision of the company.
But it's what you have to do. Like you have to try to stay relevant.
They
Or
tried and
do you?
they failed. And so that was what was like kind of bleeding them. And they were saying like, how do we get back to where we were? And they said, we won't survive. We need to like totally reevaluate every line item on this budget. They have the number of Lego pieces that were produced. They had to let 1,000 people go at the company. They sold off the Legoland parks.
They did?
Yeah, so they're not the owner of Legoland. They sold them off to like another group.
What?
I know, it's crazy.
That is shocking.
They analyzed every single expenditure. They found out some of the sets they were selling were being sold at a loss. So I think it was just like they had just gotten underwater and now it was time to clean up.
Yeah.
They found another significant demographic they had been ignoring. As I mentioned, the highly motivated adult fans of Legos, the AFOLs.
I thought it was just going to be very old people. The olds.
The olds. I guess it kind of is. They were given their own platform to submit ideas, vote on new products. There's a lot of nostalgia among adult Lego fans. So like Home Alone, Ghostbusters, Golden Girls. I'm shocked you don't have a Golden Girls Lego set.
Why?
Why?
Why? Why are you shocked that I don't have a Golden Girls Lego
I
set?
am shocked.
I don't think there is one.
There is.
I would have it.
It was enough to turn the company around. It like totally saved the company, like investing in the adult fans and like reconnecting. We're going to lose all these weird hydraulic, motorized, whatever. We're just going to be Lego. We're going to be Lego. So now they're on the up and up. The Lego movie came out in 2014, which made $500 million, like a ton of publicity.
That was a fun movie. I really
Super fun
enjoyed
movie.
that movie. I remember seeing that in the theater, and I thought they did a fantastic job.
Yeah, it's super fun. And if there were people that maybe Lego had kind of fallen off of their radar, it definitely was good publicity. It put Lego, back in the public consciousness. And it, as I mentioned, it is the #1 toy company in the world.
That does kind of surprise me that it's #1, but good for them.
I did go to a Lego store today.
Oh, that was your errand.
That was
I
my
had
errand.
a feeling it was pod related. So you probably went to the Glendale Galleria.
I went to the Glendale Galleria. I was actually there yesterday, and I didn't get to do what I wanted to do, so I had to go back today to do it. Hang on.
Did you make something?
Hang on.
Wait, do I get a gift?
Hang on.
Yee! Did you make a minifig of each of us?
So yes, I made custom Lego minifigures using the Lego Minifigure Factory. So I don't know if this is in every store, but at this Lego store, the Glendale Galleria, you are able to, using kind of like a big iPad, you can design the body, basically like the shirt of your little Lego, and then you go to like a station where you can add the accessories, the pants, the head, the hair, the whatever. My issue with this, and I say this before I give it to you guys, the accessories and face options and clothing options were extremely limited. There were so few head options that resembled regular people. Like a ton of like makeup or like big 70s sunglasses and a big mustache, or like the only one that had a regular face had a hearing aid. I'm confused what this is for. It was wild. So I got as close as I could. I'm just going to double check to make sure which one is.
Please tell me you found a mini broom for Alistair.
There was not a mini broom, but each of you has an accessory. And, I did the best I could. Everybody there, I will say, was super friendly. I'm going to hand this to John.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know this was a thing. I'm so excited.
And John, when
to
you
see
open
this.
yours, you'll get to see a fun aspect of it is that you can do like a custom design on the shirt. So I painted a little shirt for you.
What is this?
I was extremely limited on the hair.
What is this? Oh my God, you made me a tiny little cure shirt?
I made you a tiny cure shirt. The closest expression I could get for you that looked like it made sense was sweating, which I thought you'd be mad about, but it's as close as I could get. And Al, your like guy has some stubble. It's as close as I could get to you. Your shirt has a carrot on it because you like vegetables. That was as close as I could get to your dress shirt. So I would say this is a super fun thing to do. I would just say give more options. That was as close as I could get to you.
I have Betty White Golden Girls hair.
And your accessory, this was as close as I could get to normal accessories, like human things. Was like Al has a cup of tea and John has a camera because he likes to take pictures.
I do like to take pictures, so it works.
This was as close as I could get.
My two-tone pants.
Al has two-tone pants.
This is incredible.
Well, I'm glad you like it. So I'll post pictures of these minifigures and you can see them. And yeah, the stores are really fun. Like they have little stations where kids can play and build Legos while their parents are shopping. Or it could just be a place you could go if you have just like time to kill and you're in a mall, like with your kids, and everybody will have a great time.
And they have a big wall in the back. I think if you just need random pieces, you can just find the pieces you need and buy them.
Yeah, I have a picture of that big wall. There's just so much. It's really like stimulating. Everybody there is really friendly. It's a really fun store.
That's great.
I have some fun facts.
Ooh.
Do you like fun facts?
I love fun facts.
Okay, so on average, every person on Earth owns 86 Lego bricks. You might be hitting that with your 4 collections.
Oh, I definitely have more than 86.
Okay. 6 8-stud Lego bricks. This is actually good for you since you always build walls. The little bumps on the top of a Lego are called studs, by the way. 6 8-stud Lego bricks can be combined 915,113,765 different ways.
Not if they're with me, honey. They make one wall. You make one wall.
This is a fun one. Lego Group is the largest manufacturer of tires in the world.
I do like facts like that. It's like Costco's the largest pizza distributor. McDonald's is the largest toy distributor.
Yes, they make around 306 million rubber tires every year, and they are made of rubber, so they classify as tires. They are like the world record holder for largest seller of tires. This is a Titanic fact. A 15-year-old named Sebastian Hayworth used over 9,000 pieces to build the Titanic ship, the fastest recorded time to build the Titanic, in just 8 hours, 42 minutes, and 12 seconds.
Wow.
So if you've built the Lego Titanic at home, see how your time stacks up.
My Titanic's just going to look like a big wall. And that thing is going to sink before it hits the iceberg.
Well, you know it should look like a ship.
I know in theory it should look like a ship. I still can't get over my hair on this minifig.
I know, isn't that wild?
It's so like I have like a perm.
Well, the closest next thing I could find was blonde. You consider yourself to be a natural blonde.
I don't consider myself. I am.
This was the only blonde option.
I like that the camera they give it to is like an old-timey, like the land camera or something.
I mean, pop in the Lego store next time you're at the mall and you will see what kind of options I was up against.
That's so
It was
funny.
shocking. Have you ever stepped on a Lego?
No, I know that that's a big thing for parents. Like they really hurt.
So there's a scientific reason why it is so painful to step on a Lego.
Well, because they're hard plastic and they're like all point.
Well, they're hard plastic and they're all point, but specifically the type of plastic is so strong that a single brick can hold 950 pounds before it has any give.
Wow.
And the size of the Lego relative to like the surface area of the foot, it is considered to be like one of the most painful things to step on. There's 200,000 nerve endings on your feet. And against a Lego, that much like downward pressure. It is so painful that people have competitions in Lego walking, like fire walking, glass walking, and they do Lego brick walking.
I would not want to do that. I don't like to do things like that. I've never had a desire to walk on coals. I don't want to do anything scary or outside of my comfort zone.
People who walk on coals say that that is less painful than walking on a line of Legos.
I believe it because I think the coals get like that little layer of ash.
Well, then you shouldn't be scared to do it. You just said yourself it won't hurt.
Yeah, but I'm slow, so I feel like I would just start sizzling. I'm going to start sizzling on step 3.
You're just going to lumber across a bed of coals. A company in France made Lego-proof slippers, which is kind of like a fun PR move. I have stepped on a Lego, and it just sends you to your knees. Like, you're just, like, rolling on the ground. I didn't expect about parenting how many times I would silently yell, F***. That's, like, 90% of parenting.
Yeah.
Is just, like, hurting yourself really bad and not being able to scream.
To express
the
it.
F-word.
Lego does this thing, and you hinted at this earlier with its adult fans or whatever they're called, where you can create a Lego set and submit it online, and it gets voted on. And then if it gets enough votes, then it goes to like the Lego board, and they will decide if they will make that an official set. And I believe that's how maybe the Golden Girls, if not the Golden Girls, the Friends set, or one of those big pop culture sets came to be. And I don't know how often they do that or whatever, but it's a really cool way that they let like fan input into the brand.
And you're not a Lego collector.
I'm not a Lego collector. I'm just very well read on brands.
What were you going to say?
Nothing.
What were you going to say?
Nothing. Emmy Award-winning researcher.
Oh, okay, there it is. There she is.
I wasn't going to say it. You literally pulled it out of me.
If you ever find yourself in Denmark, you should go by the Lego campus because they have a Lego land there that is really cool. And then they also have this like amazing, expansive campus where everybody at Lego works. And it opened like 2 years ago, this like new renovated building. And you can go and you can see the Lego factory. You can watch Lego get made.
I would love to see Legos get made. I'm picturing like a hotel. You have to sleep on a really hard Lego bed. Like everything's just like overdone with Legos. Like your meal served on a big Lego tray.
Lego.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
That'd be fun.
Well, we'll do a road trip.
I've never been anywhere to see how something iconic is made.
Never?
No. Like, I'd love to see how a Twinkie... I mean, I've watched the shows, but I've never... I wanted to surprise you with doing Jelly Belly.
I was just going to say, we have to do Jelly Belly. It's the closest one.
It's not close, though. It's still a few hours away.
A few hours. We have time. I would love to do that. I have loved footage of factories since I was a child. Mr. Rogers, the iconic footage of the Crayola factory.
And then Food Network had that show Unwrapped with Mark Summers where he would always go inside like a Twinkie. I don't know why I'm obsessed with Twinkies. I feel like I know what that looks like. It's just like a sponge cake with like 3 injections of
I'm not
cream.
buying it till I see it.
3 injections of cream.
I imagine you laying on your back on the conveyor belt getting injected with cream in your mouth.
That's like a Simpsons episode.
Well.
I'm not Homer. No, I'm not Homer Simpson. I mean, would I want to be injected with cream? I'm not opposed. I would like to have, it doesn't matter.
What would you like to have?
Access to like vats of cream. I don't want to eat it all. I just want to see it.
You'd like to have just visual access.
And this is something we've talked about before, going back to Jelly Belly, which did one of the most brilliant marketing things in the world at their factory when they would have deformed beans or beans that were stuck together and a bean's too big or whatever. They marketed those and started selling them and called them belly flops, which I thought was genius. We went through a period where I would buy we would eat belly flops on a Friday night.
We love belly flops.
Because especially if you find like a buttered popcorn belly
like
flop.
extra buttery.
It's like your favorite flavor, and all of a sudden you have a big mutant version of it. Ugh,
now when I think of a bag of belly flops, I think of like by the register at TJ Maxx.
Oh, I always found them at the 99-cent store. They're always like at a low rent store.
Oh, I just realized I have one fact I forgot to say. The world record for the tallest building made out of Lego bricks is in Italy, and it is 114 feet, 11 inches tall. That's the same height as a 12-story building.
Cool. Was that a boring fact or just a fact?
I guess it's kind of a neutral fact. It's kind of like a nothing. Like for some reason, facts about like length, I don't know why they like don't register with me at all. They don't like stir my soul.
That's kind of how I felt about your fact about the kid that did the Titanic. It's like he did it in 8 hours and 12 minutes. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, for some reason numbers like this one. And maybe some people are stirred by number facts. To reach the moon, you would need approximately 40 billion Lego bricks. It's like, what are we talking? Okay.
That seems right. That's a lot of bricks. I would hope I could reach the moon by then. I'm also not, I never really get it when they're like, they make enough Lego bricks in a year to circle the earth 14 times.
I was just about to say.
I don't care.
Stretch around the world more than 18 times.
Okay. So I was a little off. Like, even just me guessing exhaustedly, I was almost there.
Yeah. And like, it's such a who cares.
Well, this has been a very fun brand.
Oh, so people can weigh in whether or not you're a Lego collector. You have a new little Lego to add to your minifigure collection.
I don't even feel like I'm trying to trick you. I'm not a Lego collector. I have a few Lego things in my collection of life, but I'm not a Lego collector. I'm not like, you know what does look fun though that they've started coming out with?
What?
Flowers. Have you seen those?
Yeah, my sister's done 3 of them.
Yeah, you make like stemmed flowers. Now
Very
they have
cool.
succulents and like they're always thinking of something new to do.
Yeah, pop over to a Lego store. Even if you think you're not a Lego person, I bet you'll find something there that tickles your fancy.
Yeah.
So as I said, that's it for Lego. John, do you have any news for us today?
I do, and unfortunately, it's a little bit on the sad side.
Sad news.
Sad brand news. We're losing an iconic brand. Fruit Stripe gum is ceasing production.
No!
It is The worst gum in the world.
Yes.
Its flavor lasted for 15 seconds tops.
Does it still have a disgusting tattoo that you have to like lick, spit on, and then stick to your forearm?
The wrapper was a disgusting tattoo that you had to lick and stick on your arm. According to the company, the decision to sunset this product was not taken lightly, and we considered many factors before coming to this decision, including consumer preferences. So they're blaming us.
Yeah, it's our
consumer preferences and purchasing patterns. Again, it's on us. They're basically like, you guys didn't buy this. We're not going to make it anymore.
They're like, our gum is perfect. I don't know what's wrong with you. It's like, I have a few notes about your gum. Nope, not ready for it. Not interested. That's like us. No feedback, please. Only compliments.
Yeah. It was invented in the late 1960s by James Parker. I'm sure you remember their iconic zebra mascot. Do you know his name?
Stripey the zebra.
You're close. It's in that world.
Okay.
Yipes. And his slogan was, Yipes, stripes. I see why they're shuddering. I can't believe they lasted for 60 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you
Yipes
see a
is
pack
right.
of fruit stripe gum out there, and you may want to grab it because it will not be around.
How many have you bought to put in your storage unit?
None. I did like it as a kid. Like, I liked the colors of it. I liked that there was zebra pattern gum, but it literally lasted for, like, it's like Trader Joe's bread. It molds on the way to my house. Like, it just had such a short lifespan that I don't need it.
Zing.
Did you say zing?
Zing.
Wow, zing.
Wow. Zing. You just got zong.
So that's all I got.
Well, sad day for fans of fruit stripe gum, but good day for fans of Lego. You just learned a bunch of fun facts.
Yeah.
And we'll be back next week with an all-new episode of On Brand. If you're enjoying the show, please subscribe. Write us a lovely review on Apple iTunes. You can write to us on Instagram, where you can see clips from the show. We love to hear from you guys. Any thoughts on Lego? Share them with us there. And yeah, we'll be back next week when John will be teaching me something.
Oh, I'm definitely going to teach you something. I think you're going to be very excited about it. And I have another attempt at finding an iconic sign-off. This one comes from Michelle E. Thank you so much for listening, and everyone have a brandtastic week.
See ya.
Bye.
Shopify's point of sale system helps you sell at every stage of your business. Need a fast and secure way to take payments in person? We've got you covered. How about card readers you can rely on anywhere you sell?
Thanks. Have a good one.
Yep, that too. Want one place to manage all your online and in-person sales? That's kind of our thing. Wherever you sell, businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 a month trial at shopify.com/listen. Shopify.com/listen.
If you're looking to streamline your audio advertising buys and maximize your revenue, look no further than Triton Digital's programmatic audio advertising exchange, A2X. The private exchange consists of only licensed broadcasters and top-tier internet radio publishers, assuring the quality inventory and brand safety you can trust. Visit www.tritondigital.com to learn more.